Hi guys, it's Archibald Chesterfield III, AC3. And today guys, what am I talking to you about? I'm talking about buyer's remorse. Buyer's remorse. So if you guys haven't been watching my channel, what's basically happened? Well, what's happened is, this is ground-shattering news. What's happened is Archibald Chester III. Oh, quick, before I start, wristwatch check. I'm wearing the Daytona, fuckers. Basically what's happened is I have traded in 3 steel sports, 3 very heavy-hitting steel sports, to buy a dream, a grail. And what this grail is, well, it's a Patek Philippe Classic, Patek Philippe, Grand Classic, Patek Philippe. It's a, what is it? It's one of the greatest Pateks ever made, automatic Calatrava with date 5296. So what has happened is I've gone and done the deal. I went to Sydney and I've traded in 3 steel stunners for this Patek Philippe. Now the Patek Philippe was a super dream. I got to be completely honest and confess to you. I was thinking if I got an inheritance from my old man, I would buy this Patek Philippe. But I beat him to it. He hasn't thrown me a quid. But what I've done is I've managed to sell 3 steel sports Rolex. Now this is the whole beauty of Rolex steel sports. You buy Rolex steel sports, as long as you look after it, don't lose the box, don't lose the papers, you basically retain value. And I needed to get funds very quickly, and I basically, as far as the dealer is concerned, Rolex stock is like cash. So I traded a few pieces in. I traded, firstly, there was my Milgauss. Now that was no box or papers when I bought it. I did acquire a box, which I did include in the sale. I was just too excited. I foolishly gave the box away, which, that's a mistake, Arch, but okay, you learn. Then I also sold, the next piece was my Explorer 1. Now the Explorer 1, fuck Arch! That was supposed to commemorate my 50th birthday. It was supposed to be the, you know, the brings back memories of my 1016. So a lot of emotional carnage has been killed, and in some ways you could say that was a giant mistake. 39 mil was a Mark 1. I mean, they're fucking, they've got investment potential written all over them. And then thirdly was my Air King, which I didn't really love the Air King to start with, but once I owned it, it could do no wrong. I really loved that watch. That watch was... So it's a very, very painful decision. Basically, what happened is Cove from Sydney Watch Exchange, he acquired this Patek Philippe. And I didn't want to say anything when I was negotiating. I like to be a shrewd negotiator, but fuck me dead. White gold. Fuck me dead! And, you know, white gold really, really... I think that's the best metal to have that piece in. And I got to be completely frank and honest with you. I was just in love with it, man. I couldn't help myself. I could not help myself in the least. I had to do the deal. And, you know, each of those watches really was hard to part with. The Milgauss, I absolutely loved. The Milgauss, I loved. It was a quality piece. I love the orange because I'm a 70s child myself. I thought out of all the Milgausses, the black dial non-GV is the most purest and I think the best. So I was going to sell that. I had to trade that in. Then I had the Explorer 1, which was very painful because that was my tribute to my first Rolex, the 1016. I had to sell that. And especially after Federico had criticized that I couldn't sell it. I love something that he's gone out of his way to acknowledge because I'm the pontiff. So that was painful. And I really thought long and hard, what do I do? And then I had to sell the Air King, which I've only just got the Air King, and already I've swapped it in a deal. Fuck me dead, Archie. Fucking hell. I gotta be honest with you there. It was pretty fucking fast-tempered. This was fast happening shit. I had to make a decision. Couldn't fuck around. You pull the trigger or you miss out. That's basically how it works with these sort of watches. I did the deal. I'm over the moon to own the Patek, but how do I feel about the seller's remorse selling those watches? Which watch, if I could have one of them back, which one would I have back? And that's a very tricky question, very tricky. I mean, I love all of those three. I would say out of those three, if I could have one back, I'd go for the Milgauss. The Milgauss. Non-GV, black dials. That black dial harks back to the 4-digit, the 1019, the 1019, which when I think of a 1019, it's a black dial 1019. So it harks back to that. It's incredibly sad, incredibly sad. The buyer's remorse has really... The seller's remorse. It's kicked in. It really has kicked in. I am seeking medical attention. The company that I do the Pubicide experiments with, they actually gave me these tablets here to help with my anxiety. These are kind of experimental, but yeah, it also, as well as being a antipsychotic, it also wards off genital warts and venereal disease. So yeah, that's the medication I'm on now to deal with that. I gotta tell you guys, I gotta tell you in all honesty, this has been one of the hardest deals of my life. This has been one of the hardest deals of my life. It's I loved my 3 Steel Sports Rolex. I loved my 3 Steel Sports Rolex. Loved them to death. It hurts. It really, really fucking hurts, man. It really fucking hurts. And it's all gone now. It's all gone. They're gone. The watches are gone. I just had a look at Cove's website, and sure enough, he's sold the Air King's on hold. It's very tough. Probably the one I miss most is the Milgauss. Fucking sensational watch. It was beautiful. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I honestly, I gotta be honest with you. You gotta be grateful, but I mean, I gotta be appreciative. I still have 3 Rolex. I got the 3 Rolex bases covered. I've got a diver in the bluesy. I've got my Daytona, okay, Daytona, and I've also got a GMT function in the Explorer 2 Polar. So sometimes in life you can be greedy. You can be a bit of a greedy son of a bitch and always want a bit more. But I got my 3 bases covered. I think that's great. I've still got those 3 bases. I think I'd like to get a 3-hand, no-date steel sports again. Because I like to have 2 two-tone Rolex and 2 steel Rolex. And for me, the yin and the yang, if you look at my collection, the yin and the yang, I've got the Daytona's got the new clasp. I've got the Bluesy's got the old clasp. The Explorer 2 has got the old clasp. So I would like to get a Steel Sports date. Steel Sports no date with the new clasp. That's what I'd like to get. That's what I'd like to get. I think that'd be a perfect for Rolex. Would be good. So I do have aspirations. Which one would I want back? Fuck. It's hard because the Explorer 1 meant so much to me. It meant so much. And I gotta tell you, man, in all honesty, Explorer 1 was a wonderful watch to have there. I think the Milgauss is the biggest regret. Selling that Milgauss is the one. If I could have one of those Steel Sports Rolexes back, I think that's the one. I think that's the one I would go for. So, yeah, it's very tricky, it's very hard, it's mean, it's vicious, but, hey, that's the way it goes. Tell me what you think, guys. Tell me, what do you think? Which of those 3 Steel Sports Rolexes do you think I should have kept? Air King, 40mm, Milgauss, or the Explorer 1? If you could have one of them back, which one would you choose? So put some comments down below. Remember, guys, like, subscribe, tell your fuckhead friends. Tell the fuckhead friends. Don't be afraid to put some nasty comments down below. And until next time, ciao, fuckers! Ciao, fuckers. I'm Paul Pluta. Tell me what you fuckaroonies think of that. Great vid, Arch. Love it, love it, love it.